Good afternoon. It's 7 o'clock, Tuesday night, Channel 95. You're watching one more show of the Neighborhood News. Sejam bem-vindos. É terça-feira à noite, 7 horas da noite, Canal 95. Estão a escutar mais um programa de notícias da sua vizinhança. Hoje não tem convidados, mas vou-os alertar para as eleições que se estão a aproximar e as promessas que vão começar a correr nas notícias, de certo. Fique atento e faça o seu dever, que é votar. Today we having a special show, special because my co-host is not going to be able to make it here to the studio because somebody in the family got sick and he had to cancel. And we didn't have a guest booked for today because we were going to talk about elections, and elections, it's right around the corner. So with that being said, I'm kind of going to do kind of commentary show. We're gonna talk, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit what I think and how this campaign season is gonna unfold. And I need to ask the listeners, especially those that don't get involved too much in politics. And it's funny because a lot of people are not involved in politics. They kind of depend on people like me and people on the city that are current with the elections. And elections is just starting, so all the promises and give me a vote, and I promise I'm going to work for you. I'm going to work for you, and all the other promises. It is, and I wish that we could put this way. People that's going to start listening to the debates, and we have two debates set up, one for the 16, one for the 17. And here how I'm gonna kind of see how the candidate's doing. I kind of gonna work with a scale. If they say something that I don't approve, I will go one number down. And if I like what I heard, I'm going to give them a number up. And this kind of is gonna tell me, and it's been different elections, and the promises and the stuff they talk about are always the same stuff. And I'm going to give you a couple examples. Waterfront has been the reason for candidates on the past to get elected. And they talk about the waterfront like it's going to resolve all the problems in Fall River. And how much we did in Fall River, and how much the waterfront is going to come out and give back to the city. Well, 20 years ago, when mayors got elected, I used to say that that's going to be for my daughters. It's not going to be for me. I'm not going to see any difference on the waterfront. 20 years later, I still thinking the same way. Instead of telling now that's going to be for my daughters, I'm going to say, and I'm going to tell you, the waterfront is for my granddaughters, because they're not going to be for me. I'm not going to live to see a waterfront development. I will see a restaurant, a famous restaurant, but I won't see the waterfront development. And when they say that Fall River have done so much to the waterfront, in my opinion, Fall River had done nothing to the waterfront for all these years, and everybody's keep getting elected talking about the waterfront. Nothing. Fall River didn't spend $1 on the waterfront. $1. All the dollars being spending on the waterfront right now, it's state money. It's not even city, it's state. And again, was a project that we got down our throats, because I remember people going against that project and having no voice. Matter of fact, one candidate that's running for office right now had gone on the meetings against it, and we can see already the problems we're having there. They put two lights, and 300, 400 feet away from each other. The whole street's being back up. It's not because of construction. It's not because of construction. That's the way it's going to be, my friends. That's the way it's going to be. From now on, forget it about driving, through the whole streets like in the 30 mile. Forget it. That's not going to happen. And sometimes the line is so backed up that passes the Cove restaurant all the way, almost in Somerset. That's the way it's going to be. Waterfront. Every candidate that's going to talk on when they approach, and for my vote, that talked about waterfront, is going to have one negative point from me. You can talk about the waterfront, but don't tell me that we're gonna have a waterfront, because, like I said, it's not for my time. And again, it's my opinion, and I have a right to my opinion. And to finish on the waterfront, I even can tell you more about the waterfront. What's going to happen to the waterfront? Me and all the taxpayers is going to have to pay to clean up the waterfront. But I bet you and me will not be able to open anything on the waterfront because we don't have the money. So it's that good for Fall River? No, it's not good for Fall River. Do we have a good waterfront? No, I don't think we have a good waterfront. And that it's been proved and being said by experts from economic development. What they call, and the person calls the Braga Bridge being the big elephant in top of a waterfront. And if you think it's true, because you are on a battleship, you look high up, you cannot see the sky. So it is a big elephant on the waterfront. So don't give me the waterfront to get my vote. That's my first thing. My second thing is going to be, and before I move on to the next one, do you remember, whoever's listening to me right now and watching right now, when the state came to us with that project was for a boulevard, okay? Do you know any boulevard in Fall River or anywhere else that you cannot cross from one side to another? Well, that's the boulevard right on the waterfront, which I have people already complaining to me, okay, and complaining because when he thought about having a boulevard on their neighborhood, they thought that they could cross to the waterfront. It's not going to happen. Sorry. Let me move to the next one. And they talk about bringing business. Everybody wants to bring business to downtown. Everybody wants to bring business to downtown. When they remember, they mention the Flint. When the Flint was to be more busier, than downtown. But that's okay. Let's talk about downtown. The candidates want to talk and bring business to downtown. So let's talk about downtown. Here are my 5 cents about the bringing business to downtown. If I had a business in downtown, I would be upset, very upset, because I'm struggling with my business downtown, and the candidates want to bring more business to compete with me. So how about that? How about a candidate telling me, I want to help the business. I want to give incentives to the business so they can hire part-time, so they could have a half a day to go to the bank, make their deposits, do their groceries. Okay? I can employ a part-time person. Where's the incentive for that? That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear that you want to bring more business. I want to hear me as a small business, what you gonna do, what is your plan to help me, the small business, to stay in business. That's what I want to hear. And I hope the candidates are gonna listen to this, because that's how I feel. So if you're gonna speak about bringing more business to the downtown, I'm going to give you 1 point less. And I want to see on the end of the debates how you're going to do it, if you're going to really get my vote. That's the business. A solution? I probably could get you one. City Council just approved last month another $1 million for industrial park to renovate streets and remove curbs, to help a company just in case if they decided that they really want to come to Fall River, they could have what they need. From those $1 million, let's see if the candidates is going to put something like, for every $1 million that's going to be spent at the airport road or industrial park, whatever you want to call it, 10% is going to go to the small business, to help the small business. Because I can tell you something, with $100,000, it's going to be a big help for the small business, a big help. We could do print, we could do specials, we can bring people into those doors. Airport Road will get $900,000, the small business will get $100,000. I'm happy with that. I'm not greedy. I'm happy with that. Because with $100,000, like I said, I can do a lot for the small business. For a long time, moving now to my list, people are asking, people are not trusting the government. People are asking for forensic orders and stuff like that. I want to hear the candidates talk about that. I want to hear the candidates. I mean, I know one candidate already thought about that, and if you look online, that what I did to all the candidates, it's right there. It's right there. It's part of the 100 days in office that he's going to do, you know, a forensic audit. That's what the public, that's why we recall a mayor. That's why we recall a mayor, because we didn't trust government. How can another mayor get in that office and keep doing without listening to the people? Without knowing how much really we have in each account, how many accounts we have, and how much we have in each account. Please listen carefully. We started the process, which I was not part of it. But now that it's done, let's keep doing the work the way it's supposed to be done. They can talk about, and a lot of promises is gonna come. I know promise is gonna come that we want to improve the school departments, that we want to improve the police departments, and this and that. My friends and candidates, where did you need to start? It's right underneath that 6th floor. It's right in the house that you need to start. We have department heads that in there for 20-some years that they cannot even be touched, never mind talked to. They're not friendly. They're not business friendly. I had somebody that went to an inspector with questions, and a piece of paper was thrown on top of the counter. Fill it up and bring it back to me. You know what that business did? Threw the application on the trash. Because you knew you were not going to go nowhere with that. What happened? He moved to Taunton. I have business on Pleasant Street with big sign on the window. Moved to New Bedford. I mentioned that last Tuesday on the city council, or 2 weeks ago on the city council. What is that New Bedford is doing different that now that they have the waterfront already, they have all that, it's done. They have parks, city events through the whole city on the parks. It's not this thing, you know, you cannot use this park for this, you cannot use that park for this. Taxpayers paying for those parks. That's why you go to New Bedford, any park you want to go, every weekend, it's something going on in there. But not in Fall River. Even the business now are shutting down in Fall River and moving to New Bedford. What is New Bedford doing different than us? Probably starting right there inside the city hall. When a business approached them with an idea to open a business, they're friendly. They help them. They drive them to the places. They find them a place to rent the space. Service. That's what we don't have in Fall River. You know why? Because those people have the job guaranteed. They don't have to give you service. Their job is there. It's been there for years. So for the new mayor, please start it right there inside City Hall. That's where you need to start. Making friendlies. Be friends. Especially with the people that want to open business and move to Fall River with their business. Forget it about open business at Airport Road. Forget it. That's a total different approach. You know, total different approach. And I was told 2 years ago by a company that would want to expand that approached them and it didn't help them. So they moved to Tiverton. So the problem, it's not from today. The problem, it's not from yesterday. The problem is going for years and years and years. And now we've seen the results. Now we've seen the results. We spend money training police. We spend money training firefighters. They come back from training, from the academies. They don't have jobs. But guess what? That's okay. They found a job in another town, in another city. But we paid for it. We paid to make that police officer the best police officer. We paid for it. But now, another town. It's like Portuguese people say, it's trash for you, it's not for me. So it's called recycling, I guess. And more than anything, for the candidates that really gonna get elected at the end of this year, make it about us. Everything that it will be about us. If we go and use the 3 minutes, if we use the 3 minutes in citizens input, make those 3 minutes valuable. Because right now, I can tell you, I go there, I use my 3 minutes, but nobody pays attention. Either the chairs are too comfortable and they're rocking back and forth, or somebody got a very important text message that needs to be seen. Okay? That's what needs to change. That's exactly what needs to change from city council. From mayor, same thing. Make it all about us. We are the boss here. Okay? We are the boss. That's why, if you want to do it like business-wise, and if you go to a place and you see an employee say, this is the best manager I ever had, guess what? If he's the good manager for my employees, he's not on my behalf. He's not working for me. Because if he was working for me, he's not going to be the best manager for my employees. He's working for me. I'm paying him. So he needs to work for me and not be good friends with the rest of the employees. Because at the end of the day, my employee is going to have the job, but my manager is going to lose his job because his job is not being done. It's the same thing. That's exactly the same thing. Listen to us. And I have said this many, many times. People approach me and tell me, Carlos, how can you put 2 events on the same weekend? 3 events on the same weekend? Because guess what? I never turn down a good idea. Could be a bad idea for me, but it's a good idea for somebody else. And I will make that idea come true. Because guess what? That person is going to work for me. It's going to work for my neighborhood. It's going to volunteer for this city. It's going to do the best that he can to succeed. And if he succeeds, my neighborhood succeeds, I succeed, my city succeeds, my friends that live on the city succeeds. That's why I can do it. And if I was the mayor, I will do the same thing. No idea is a bad idea. If you know how to do it, they come to me. I want to do a rodeo. Okay, I don't understand anything about rodeos. Oh, but I do. Fine, you run it. I make it possible. If I had to run this city, and a lot of people, and thank you for those that actually want me to run for mayor, but thank you, no thank you. But that's what I would run. That 6th floor, people can call me. If I'm not at the 6th floor, my phone will be on me, like still is, and I'm just a leader of a neighborhood. But my phone rings 11 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, I pick up the phone. Because that person needs to talk to me. If that person's calling me, that person needs to talk to me. And for all the candidates, city council is not bad, but especially the mayors. The position like mayor, it's very important that you are always on the other side of that phone call. Because if I'm going to call you, it's because I need you. I'm not going to call you just to say hi. I'm going to call you when I have a problem. Transparency starts there. When people think that transparency is just about numbers, who we hide, and all that, no, it's not. Transparency, to me, as a neighborhood leader, is when I call you, when I call the mayor, he's there on the other side of the line to answer my question that my neighbor or a problem that my neighborhood has, and I need to get in touch with you. This should be the top of your commitment to our city. So, my friends, I could spend another hour just talking and how I'm going to evaluate the candidates during this election season that's just starting. But pay attention, please. Pay attention what they say. Don't get promises. I will get and I will vote for a mayor that don't give me promises, but tells me the truth. I'm going to get there, and I'm going to try to do this, and I'm going to try to do that. Not that I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, because I know how it is. We have an idea. We started, and then we have to change, because something happens. So pay attention. How they going to approach you? I don't care if it's a doctor, I don't care if he makes $100,000 or $30,000. I will elect a person that makes $30,000, to tell you the truth, because that person knows how much I suffer and how much cost me to pay the bills and to maintain my house, compared to somebody that makes $100,000. I want that person that cleans sidewalks, okay, like I clean homes, to survive, because he feels what I feel, and he's going to feel the way I feel. So, my friends, I think we probably should. I don't want to run out of time, but I think we pretty much. I pretty much put it out the way I feel and the way I want you. You don't need to be involved in politics. You don't, but when you listen to the debates, when you're talking about, elections, have an open mind and really study what these people are talking about. Go behind with the words, because sometimes they use words that we don't know. And I don't want to go to the dictionary to find the words. I want people to talk my language and say it the way it is. And that person, I don't care if it only has the high school. That's who I want there, because I know that he's gonna do the job that I want to have done for me. And everybody have bad days. Everybody do mistakes. I do mistakes too. It's part of it. When a person accepts the mistake, comes out to public and say, I'm sorry, I did a mistake, but let me fix it. Let me try to fix it. I need your help to fix it. That's who I want there, from city council all the way to the mayor. And please, the next mayor, please attend the city council meetings. If you really want to work together with the city council, you need to be there at least one meeting a month. Thank you, and I see you next week. Thank you.